that the Mahdi will appear on Nowruz. According to the books and narrations, the Mahdi will appear on Nowruz. What the heck is the significance of Nowruz, subhanAllah? What the heck, what on earth is the significance of Majusi
Wait, don't
Nowruz?
you jump over fire on the roof? Like,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but of course, yeah, Habibi, these people, these Zanadiqa are not that dumb. That dumb, they do always contradict themselves, but not that dumb. What they do, they always give it a thin guise of Islam. Sprinkle, like this guy, Turkish guy, what's his name? The Salt
oh,
Grenade. Yeah. They sprinkle some thin guise of Islam on it. You may ask, Kif, how? I'll tell you. They say, for example, no. With Nowruz, we don't mean the fire jumping and stuff. But Imam Jafar al-Sadiq, alayhi salam, he said in our narrations that the Arabs have forsaken Nowruz, and that it was a special day, and the covenant was taken. Allah, on that day, Allah asked mankind to worship Him alone. Yawmul Ghadir was on Nowruz. The Prophet became a Prophet ﷺ on Nowruz, and all these khurafat. And who said it? They don't say Imam Babak alayhi salam said or Imam Shahram. They say Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salam. That's the whole trick, brother. This is what Sunnis finally have to understand.
It's very similar to what Constantine did to Christianity.
Listen, but at this stage, Sunnis must finally understand and know the whole trick of Twelverism to Shia. What is the whole trick? Come on, guys. The whole trick is that everything is attributed to As-Sadiq, Al-Baqir, As-Sadiq. What do you think what they do then? You think they're dumb? You think they say, oh yeah, Imam Bahram ibn Shahram ibn Piruz, the virus, he said that, Nowruz is holy. No. They say Jafar al-Sadiq, Qal al-Sadiq. So anyway, look at this. Names of the 12 Imam. You wanted to hear. An-Najm al-Thaqib is a book by Nuri al-Tabrasi, the Zindiq, one of the top scholars. Listen to this. Nuri al-Tabrasi says in An-Najm al-Thaqib, he said, apart from the never in the Quran or Sunnah proven 182 names and titles of the Shia Mahdi, they have attributed 182 names at least to him, according to one of the top scholars. And the funny thing is, among them is Friday, the clock, the owner of the white ball. Yeah, no doubt. Listen. This is from the book. I'm quoting from the book. I'm quoting from the book.
The clock.
I'm quoting now. An-Najm al-Thaqib by Nuri al-Tabrasi, a top 12 scholar. He says, one of his names is Izad Shenas.
Oh, wow.
Persian Majusi. The one, and not everything that is Persian is Majusi. Sometimes they say, and you see, look at Aqliya, they have some of them, and the polemicists, they have the aql of a little child. Of course, not everything that is Persian is Majusi. Maskhara. Imam Bukhari was Persian as well. Is he Majusi? Of course he's not. Anybody who is a Muslim who is upon Sunnah is not a Majusi, simple as that. And anybody who is upon this batil and this zandaqa, even if his Arab blood is spilling out of his forehead, he's still a Majusi, simple as that. Anyway, one of the names of the 12th one is Izad Shenas, the one who has knowledge about Izad. Do you know what Izad is? Do you know what Izad is? Izad is the new Persian form of Yazata. Yazata is originating a Western Majusi language adjective derived from the verbal root Yaz, to worship. So one of the names of the 12 was Izad Shenas. One of his names is Izad Nishan, the one who illustrates God. One of his Persian names, Majusi names, is Istade, the one who stands. Now wait, it gets worse. One of his names is Bahram. Bahram, it gets really worse. You know what Bahram means? You can ask any Iranian person who is well versed in Iranian Zoroastrian terminologies. Bahram is also a common Iranian name, boy name. Bahram, the Zoroastrian divinity, that is the hypostasis of victory. So Rafida can not only call upon the 12th Imam by yelling, Ya Mahdi adrikni, Ya Sahib al-Zaman. Now they can say, Ya Bahram adrikna, because it's one of his names.
They're calling them by Majusi deities? Is that
brother? And at Tabrasi, as I just said, where is this?
No, but that's a deity name, a Majusi deity name?
Yes, and they say it's one of his titles, though. MashaAllah. Wait. Bande Yazda, the slave of Yazdan. I explained Yazdan. Yazdan is how Zoroastrians refer to the deities. Anyway, Parviz, a Persian male given name, meaning fortunate. Okay. Khajoste, another Persian name, meaning Benedict, happy. And now this goes back to what? To the narration I read earlier. Remember, Ali, when you said, what if they say the narration of Bihar is weak? طيب, then why did this Zindiq, Nuri al-Tabrisi, and his Najm al-Thaqib, why did he say that one of the names, his names is Khusro? You know what Khusro means? Khusro is the Persian form of Kisra. Kisra is the Arabized. Arabs, look, today, most people think the Persian kings were called Kisras. Yeah, because in English we should say, but Kisra is the Arabized form of Khosrow. And it's even a boy's name. Today, many Iranians name their sons Khosrow. Khosrow Parviz. It's very common. You've probably heard it, some of you. One of the names or titles of the 12th one is Khosrow. Khosrow is Persian form of the Arabized word Kisra, the king of the Zoroastrians. So he's the king of the Zoroastrians. So these are so we have here. Look, I when I did this tahqiq, I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Zoroastrian names he has. 9. And in Bihar al-Anwar, Yazdi kept saying, one of my progeny is going to come to you, you, the people of the Sahaba and stuff, he's going to take intiqam. He's going to take revenge from you.
Okay. Wow. So they probably have more names for Al-Mahdi than they do for Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Of course, 182. 182 they gathered. This Zindiq, this At-Tabrasi. 182.
Okay, so Hassan, you've established the clear link between Persianism, Zoroastrianism, and their Mahdi.
Ali, please allow me just this one. Allow me this one.
Go for it.
Because it's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's guys. This is not a comedy show, but it sometimes sounds like comedy because that's what Rafidism is about. It is so unbelievable. It is so unbelievable. It's so. I understand if someone is laughing and saying, "Oh, is this guy serious?" What can I do? I'm a human being. I have emotions. I'm not a robot. You know. It's so surreal. You ask yourself, is this a joke? The reason you don't know this, brother, sister, Sunni, Shia, Jew, Christian, non-Muslim, is because in their propaganda of Mahdi is a peace bringer, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, alayhi salam, because they don't mention this stuff. So listen to this. Translation. Al-Mu'alla narrates from Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam. Nowruz, listen to this. Nowruz is no other day but the one we, the Ahlul Bayt, are awaiting the reappearance of Mahdi. For it is one of our days that was protected by the Persians and carelessly lost by you Arabs. Ad-Du'ali al-Imam al-Zaman. Here, wait, check, let me show you. This is not stuff that is weak. They print this stuff. They print these books. These are books of creed in relation to the 12th Imam. These are books of creed in relation to the 12th Imam. Here, Ad-Du'ali Imam al-Zaman. And this is in other books as well. And the scholars preach these things. Have you understood what I just read? Jafar al-Sadiq is rebuking the Arabs for forsaking Nowruz. because on that day, the Hajj, the 12th one is reappearing. And then they wonder, and they look like this, why do you call us Majus for? One of many evidences. But yeah. Sorry, Ali.
Yeah, so what I was going to say was you've shown this link between them and the Majus, and they have been referred to the Majus by some of the scholars of Ahl Sunnah in the past, and this is not just a racist slur as it's often made out to be.
Absolutely not.
It does have strong foundations. There is a
I'm Iranian. I call them Majus. 100% Majus.
And there's a reason for it based on what some of the things Hassan said. Hassan, I want you to get to some of the narration. So the point I'm trying to make is this anti-Arab rhetoric, because you can see this strong Persian influence. And of course, the Arabs, the Muslims were mainly Arab during the time. They conquered Persia, and you can see where this hatred for the Arab comes from. So, Hassan, go for it, man. We want to hear what Mahdi going to do to the Arabs.
All right. First of all, in defense of my own people, and when I say own people, I include any Iranian from this land, whatever religion. Iranians are not a bad people. They are not evil and they're not demonized. But there's a reality. There's a fact. What is the fact? The fact is that Islam entered Iran. One of the propaganda of the mullahs and Shias, and even ironically who's united with them are Iranian nationalists often, is that Iranians from day one love Tashayyu. They love Tashayyu and they wanted Ahlul Bayt. And so, biggest lie. Biggest lie. If that's true, then why was Iran 900 year majority Sunni? Most Iranians were upright, good people of Ahlul Sunnah for the majority of their Islamic history. Keep that in mind. However, that doesn't mean that all of them were good and righteous. Who was defeated? You have to, people who don't learn from history will always remain losers and will repeat the mistakes of history. Who was defeated? Who were the free powers that were defeated by the Muslims? Free powers. Free powers were defeated. The Romans, the Nasara.
Romans, yeah.
The Yahud of Arabia. And the Persians.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to sit down and do nothing? Do you think they're gonna sit down and they're defeated and they're defeated and they're not? They will bring people like Abu Lu'lu al-Majusi, the first suicide murderer in a mosque. As many people don't know, the first person who did a suicide attack in a mosque. That was a suicide attack. He killed everybody, as many people as possible, including Umar al-Faruq, and then he killed himself, stabbed himself. Suicide attacker. And he's a Shia saint. He's a saint in Shiism. The first terrorist and suicide attacker in Islamic history was a Shia Persian man. And
Hassan.
the reason I say yes.
Sorry, I think also the Shia also call him Baba Shuja ad-Din, right?
Yeah, of course. That's my point. When I say he's a Shia Persian man, the reason I say this is because he's a revert in Shiism. So you think Abu Lu'lu is it? You think that's it? You think the Mu'amara, you think these attacks stop with Abu Lu'lu al-Majusi? You have to be naive. Do you know of the Kaysaniya? Do you know that the majority of early Shiite sects that mixed Zoroastrianism with Tashayyu, do you know that most of the followers were Persians from the upper class?
Yep.
Do you know that there's more than one early sect that claimed Tashayyu, and some of them openly mixed Zoroastrianism with Tashayyu, and some of them disguised it a bit more, like our friends the Twelvers. You know this? So this is a very important introduction that I make. It's not a blanket attack against all Iranians. For God's sake, I'm an Iranian myself. There's nothing wrong with these people. However, they were defeated. The evil upper class was defeated. The evil Hindu class, like a Hindu class Hindu case system, it worked. The Sassanians, they were defeated. And they tried to distort Islam again and again and again and again. And look at these narrations that Ali wants me to read now. Fine, let's read this. Now that we established that 3 big groups were defeated and all of them started to their best to distort Islam. Ibn Saba, the name, a Yahudi, and then the Majus, the Rafida. So listen to this now. The Rafidi Mahdi will be a sadistic, anti-Arab bigot. He will slaughtering Arabs left, right, and center. Narration number 1. Attributed to Imam Sadiq, Anas Sadiq. Imam Sadiq, all these zandaqa, all these heresies are obviously attributed to someone of the Ahlul Bayt. That's the trick to fool the gullible. They have attributed to Imam Sadiq that he said, there will be nothing, I repeat, there will be nothing left between us and the Arabs except slaughter. He then demonstrated the slaughter with his hand at his throat. Baqir al-Majlisi, Bahar al-Anwar, al-Majlisi, volume 52, page 349. Now, Ali might say again, or some Shia viewer might say, it's okay. You have all the right to say, oh, probably that's weak. Yeah, but guess what? This is included in Kitab al-Ghayba al-Nu'mani, which is a Shia book on Aqidah, on their 12 Imam. And this scholar has compiled things that are, even if not every single thing of authentic, the main theme, he's slaughtering the Arabs, all this stuff is established according to them. Next one, on the authority of Abu Abdullah Jafar Sadiq, who says, fear the Arabs, because there will be a very bad news for them, which is that now this is for you, Moti, which is that none from amongst them will come out with Al-Qa'im. This narration is even clearer. None of them. This one says not a single Arab person will support their version of the Mahdi. Bihar al-Anwar, volume 52, page 333 to 334. And this narration has been used as a proof by the scholars in Aqidah, such as in the books of Kitab al-Ghaiba by An-Nu'mani. طيب. And then I commented, I said, notice how the narration puts fear and hate into the hearts of the Shias in regards to the Arabs. Imam Sadiq's name, an Arab Muslim himself, you might think, and he is just being misused. As-Sadiq is just misused here. So you can have a justification to brainwash the masses. It's just being misused by the devils who fabricated those narrations, to give the anti-Arab bigotry a religious flavor. One more. Al-Muntazar, the awaited one, the Shia Mahdi, will walk around amongst Arabs and slaughter them. Bro, he will slaughter them so much that the narrations say, listen, it's all about the dhabh of Arabs. That's his mission. And look, these are important.
Is there any truth to this? Okay, so we talked about them resurrecting the Sahaba, right? Like,
yes.
It really what happened. But I heard that there are also mentions where it's not just once, like twice and three times he'll resurrect them and like kill them again like three times just to make sure they're dead, like just to make sure like they're emphasized that they're dead. Have you read anything like that before?
They have gone into such extremes. This one here, look at this. I printed it. This is from all my tahqiq, from my research. This is Ali al-Qurani, a Lebanese turban hat, a Lebanese Rafidi priest who resides in Qom. Look what he's very obsessed. He's a proper occultist. Many of these Khomeinis are occultist, conspiracy theorist nutters. So he's so obsessed with this 12th Imam thing. He wrote books on this issue. And he has one book, and in it he says, فتح العراق على يد الإمام المهدي عليه السلام. The conquest of Iraq at the hands of the Mahdi عليه السلام. He says, and on the authority of Imam Sadiq عليه السلام, then he will head towards Kufa, the 12th Imam, and descend upon her and spill the blood of 70 tribes of the Arabs. Ahlan wa sahlan, Arab tribes of Kufa and Iraq. 70 tribes, not 70 man. Ya Abdul Zahra, Ya Abdul Hussein. 70 tribes there in Kufa will be this monster, this shaitan, this iblis, this reincarnation of Mao Zedong and Adolf Hitler and all the other evil people. He will spill the blood of 70 tribes of the Arabs. Where is this mentioned again? Weak hadith. The Shemrani picked some weak narration from Bihar al-Anwar, random. Kitab al-Ghaiba by
I just thought about something. Based on this narration, Chinggis Khan could have been their Mahdi. I mean, they walked in there and slaughtered all of Iraq. So, I mean, like, it's pretty much describing the Mongols.
Please let me continue because now I'm in the mood. The Rafidi Mahdi will amputate the hands of a whole tribe. Listen to this. The Rafidi Mahdi will amputate the hands of a whole entire tribe and decorate the Kaaba with it. Did you hear? Let me repeat. The Mahdi, the peace bringer, when the earth is full of injustice, Imam Zaman will come and bring peace on this earth. Yeah, Mustad'afin. He's the peace bringer. Ahmadinejad, even in the UN. And some of them say, but you believe in the Mahdi as well, don't you? Yeah, but not in the shaitan in your books. The shaitan in your books, the sperm of Yazgir III. I don't believe in the sperm of Yazgir III. I don't believe in him. You know why? Because of this. I asked, what is the first? Again, what a miskin Jafar al-Sadiq, wallahi. He will get a lot of hasanat yawm al-qiyamah because look how much they lied upon him. Again, attributed to Jafar al-Sadiq, of course. I asked Jafar al-Sadiq, what is the first thing the Qa'im will do after he rises? Guys, what is the first thing he do? Some people have a nice breakfast, yeah? Some people do this. He's going skiing, he's going to something, yeah? Listen to the first thing he's going to do. maybe Salah reading Quran. Maybe he's gonna go to come and slap these ayatollahs and tell them learn proper Quran, learn tajweed. You clowns, you have embarrassed us. Subhanallah. طيب, will you do any of that? Yeah, will you do any of that? Will you do any of that? No. I asked Jafar al-Sadiq, what is the first thing the Qa'im will do after he rises? The Imam alayhi salam said he will start with the Bani Shayba. The Bani Shayba. He will cut their hands off because they are the looters of the house of Allah. Kamil al-Ziyarat and Uyun Akhbal al-Rida. You know who the Bani Shayba are? I prepared something for you. You know who the Bani Shayba are? These brothers, these Masakin. Bani Shayba are an Arab tribe. They're an Arab tribe. You know what the sin is? You know what the only sin is? The Bani Shayba were one of the first tribes, like almost all Arab tribes, obviously, who gave Abu Bakr bay'ah. And since the time of the Prophet ﷺ, they are the key holders. Yes. They are the key holders of the Kaaba, the Bani Shayba.
Even till now. And
yes, exactly. Even to this very day, the Bani Shayba, the descendants, are the key holders. You see? Honoring, they get the key in the opening. You know what the 12th Imam will do to these guys? Forget about the king. When somebody says, oh, this guy's from Al Saud. Okay, here, you don't like Al Saud? Here, Al Saud gone. Al Saud is gone. What is the Masakin? What have they done?
He's so old. Look at him. Like he was.
These Masakin, and the descendants as well, of course, look like Christianity. They bear the sins of the forefathers. The 12th Dajjal, Shaitan, the Musarda boy, when he comes, he will not just slaughter them, he will slaughter them and hang their hands and then cut off their hands, and he will hang them like a Christmas tree on the Kaaba. I read another one. Imam Sadiq said, alayhi salam, when the rising Mahdi appears, he will demolish the Masjid al-Haram until it's restored to its original state. Then he will dismember, amputate the hands of Bani Shayba. Then he will hang their hands on the Kaaba, as well as writing on it, these are the hands of the thieves of the Kaaba. Al-Mufid in his Kitab al-Irshad, again a book of creed, and At-Tusi in his Kitab al-Ghaiba, again a book of, when I say creed, like their aqidah with regards to the 12 Imam. Look at this. He will amputate. Will they tell you these things? Will they tell you these things? Of course not. But listen, I don't blame them. As I mentioned, the reason they don't, because some might say, what do you mean? Today you can't hide anything. You Shemrani, you're pulling these things out. So how can the 12 Shia scholars hide things? Hide as in not completely hide. Hide as in they calculate things, man. They know that the majority of the people are not going to go after these things. They're not going to do research. So all we need to do, what they need to do, they think to themselves, we just fool the gullible. We're just telling them, man, he's very good. He's going to make peace on us. And as for these things, this monster sadistic who's really the wet dream of the Sasanian, defeated Sasanian Majus and the Yahuds of Khaybar, that's between us. That's between us and our circle. And this is what we're going to expose. So that nobody dares to come out. At least if somebody watches this, he can dislike us, hate us, curse me. So I don't give a monkey. I don't give a 12 Imam. But the thing is, anybody who's watching this stuff will at least understand that, hey, things have changed, man. These people are pulling this stuff out from our books, not random narrations, weak narrations.
Hassan.
Stuff about Aqidah that our scholars have compiled. Yeah.
Though the Persians, prior to the Muslims invading Persia, they did view the Arabs as the incarnation of Shaitan, of evil.
Yeah, of course, that's known.
Yeah, I think they even call Kurds like half jinn, half humans. Like they have a problem with them too. But you know what I'm thinking about? Here's the funny thing, okay? I don't want to derail you, but I've heard people like this, the Marshmallow Man, what's his name?
Hassan.
Yeah. I was talking about, oh, look, the Sunnis bring out nothing but people like ISIS, right? They're radical people. And blah. Look at their version of Al-Mahdi. Like, he's completely, like, he's worse than ISIS.
He is, death squads and militias exist because of the shaitan. I can argue like this as well. Good?
Yeah.
You want a taste of your own? You want to have a taste of your own medicine? Let me give you a taste of your own medicine. You say that Daesh and Qaeda and all these people who are refuted left, right, and center by all types of Sunnis, by Salafis and by Asharis and so on. You say that they're the result of Hadith corpus of Bukhari and a Muslim? Then your Shia militias and whatnot, which is a lie anyway. Then undoubtedly your militias are death squads and whatnot are based on these narrations here that say that he will slaughter Arabs left, right, and center. He will amputate their hands, decorate the Kaaba with amputated hands. He will start with Quraysh. I haven't even finished. There's
This is
too
like
much.
sort of satanic rituals, like hanging body parts and like I think it's
Who knows
disgusting.
this? Who knows this stuff? This is Akhi. You know what's bro? These things are not hidden even. This is book. The scholars have collected these things and put it in there. You would have thought that, or probably the scholars, they constantly weaken this type of narratives. No, no. They wrote it in the books of Ghaiba, the books of occultation, about the qualities of him and what he will do and what he will not do. They don't even deny this stuff. They might deny it in the face of some miskin and gullible and not so knowledgeable Sunni, but amongst themselves on their websites and stuff, they don't deny even this stuff. No problem. Adam Salan, you're free. Don't deny this stuff. And it's our freedom to expose this stuff. Are you?
Abu Mahdi, any words you'd like to say?
Salawat. I mean, pretty much all covered, I think. Alhamdulillah.
Let me go through a few more narrations. Let me finish these hard narrations.
Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa
Wali
ali
Muhammad.
Muhammad.
Let me finish these narrations.
Yeah.
Check this out. This is from a Sistani affiliated website. If you think that I get things from, thin air, this is from a Sistani affiliated website. Check this out. It gets even worse. The Imam alayhi salam, it's a narration where it's a fatwa board. It's a fatwa board, yeah, based on Sistani's narrations, fatwas. Here they explain and say, and the website is called m-mahdi.com. There is a travel website, all about the Mahdi. It's not our website. I quoted from their own websites where they're experts, where they do research on the narrations. Look what they say. They say, the Imam, peace be upon him, the 12th one, will not only dismember, amputate their hands of the Bani Shayba, rather he will order the people to do tawaf around them, the Kaaba, whilst the Kaaba is decorated with amputated hands. It has been narrated on the authority of Abu Abdullah as-Sadiq alayhi salam, peace be upon him, who said, when the Qa'im, rising Mahdi, rises, he will get hold of them, this Bani Shayba, tribe of Arab, ancient Arab tribe. The crime is that they're Sunnis. The Bani Shayba, and amputate their hands and do tawaf around the Kaaba. So the Mahdi, the Shaitan, the Iblis, their version was really the Dajjal. This Dajjal, in this horror movie, 12 horror movie, when he will come, he will cut off the hands of this Arab tribe, decorate the Kaaba with it, and then he will tell the people, Yallah, do tawaf.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
Next
SubhanAllah.
one, on the authority of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam, when the Qa'im is a title they often give to the 12th one. It means the one who rises. When the Qa'im emerges, there will be nothing left between him and the Arabs. And this one has an addition to it. And the Quraysh. Look, they're so thirsty. You see the hiqd, this Majusi, Sasanian hiqd, grudge, is so deep. They couldn't just leave it with that he will slaughter Arabs in general. They needed more and more and more. So this version says that when the Qa'im emerges, there will be nothing left between him and the Arabs and the Quraysh, except the sword. The only thing between him and the Arabs and the Quraysh is the sword. Notice how the Quraysh are being mentioned separately. Prophet Muhammad's tribe, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who in the masses are what? What are the masses of the Quraysh, the majority of them? Sunnis. Next one, on the authority of Abi Ja'far, Imam Baqir this time, who said, as mankind realizes what is going to be, listen, they know that, this is interesting now, pay attention, they know that their horror version of the Mahdi is so shocking, so they needed to somehow justify it. So listen to this one, on the authority of Imam Baqir, father of As-Sadiq, Muhammad al-Baqir, who said, as mankind realizes what is going to be done by Al-Qa'im, when he appears, most people would prefer not to see him.
Peekaboo.
Listen, now listen to this. Listen to this. Hilarious, wallahi. One thing we have to thank the Rafda for one thing. The scholars and the Warwat and writers throughout history. Yeah, this is
Creative.
Bollywood, Nollywood stuff. As mankind realizes what is going to be done by Al Qaim, the Shia Mahdi when he appears, most people will prefer not to see him because of the killings he will do to mankind. To mankind, he will slaughter mankind. It makes most mankind say, listen, this is attributed to Imam Bakr. It will make most mankind say, he's not from the house of Muhammad, he's not from Al Muhammad. If he were from the house of Muhammad, he would certainly have compassion. Subhanallah. Yani their own narration states, and the source is Kitab al-Ghaiba by An-Nu'mani, this is Zindiq. So their own source states, because you see, they knew that some people who have still half brain left among the followers, they would say, wait a second, slaughter Arabs, all Arabs, and all Quraysh and stuff. We can't sell him really as a, and I say, yeah, well, people will think it like that, but the Imam said so, so you have to believe. The Imam said so, you have to believe.
So, yeah, Hassan. I mean, our question is, why would they include this in their books?
Well, I just explained that. I said the reason they included it in their books is because even they know that it's so shocking. However, Imam Bakr said so. Imam Bakr said so. The people are saying this. You have to understand 12 mentality. To them, Imam said, Ta'a wa sama. The Imam said that even if it all sounds dodgy, sorry?
Because the Imam is ma'soom.
Obviously. The Imam said, so you asking why did they include it in there? Because like if one of them has a doubt, so they can refer them to this narration, this fabrication, and say, but look, even at the time of Imam Bakr, some people had doubts. Are you like the doubters of Imam Bakr alayhi salam? Fear the Imam, he can see you. Next narration, on the authority of Abi Abdullah alayhi salam. When the Qa'im from the family of Muhammad ﷺ arises, he will resurrect 500 from Quraysh. That people, he will resurrect 500 from the Prophet, that people from the Prophet's tribe, and cut off their necks. Then another 500, until he does this action 6 times. Have you counted? Anybody good at maths? You don't need to be good at maths to know 6 times 500. This is in Al-Mufid's Irshad. Imam Jafar al-Sadiq, another one. How many of those, this is now interesting, who is going to be his followers? Now the question will arise, Tayyib, he's slaughtering so much, who's going to be his follower, you may ask?
Oh, did you say 6 times or 60 times?
6 times. 6 times 500. In Al-Mufid's Irshad. Now you might ask, then who on earth is his follower? Come on, Shemrani. Come on, Ibn Hussein. Somebody must follow him. The whole time they say they're his followers, they love him, they call upon him. Who's his follower? Now, listen to this. Nu'mani, this is from the Zindiq, is Kitab al-Ghaiba, a book about, I said the book was written so the average 12 understands what this 12 monster is about. The thing is, most of them even don't read. But anyway, Imam Jafar al-Sadiq said, how many of, Imam Jafar al-Sadiq was asked, how many of those who accompany the Qa'im are Arabs? Hey, Morty, listen, this is for you. Jafar al-Sadiq was asked, how many of those who accompany the Qa'im are Arabs? Jafar al-Sadiq said, very few. Very few. Then someone said, but numerous are the Arabs who profess this cause. Even imagine, even the Zindiq back then, who made up the fabricated stuff, said, but there's a number of us who believe in you. And Jafar al-Sadiq said, people will inevitably be chosen, separated. Many are those who will fall through the sifter. Yani subhanallah, even the Zindiq, even the Zanadiqa at that time, they said, yeah, Jafar al-Sadiq, but the ones who fabricated this nonsense, because what was their aim? The aim was to slaughter all Arabs. But there were always, and there are still today, there are Masakin Arabs who profess Shia belief. They're thinking because Imam Ali was an Arab. What do you mean? Imam Ali is an Arab. But he's portrayed like a Persian tranny. He's drawn like a Persian tranny. He's giving all these, the Ahl-Bayt are giving all these Majusi characteristics. That's just Arab by name. It doesn't even matter if they're Chinese or Arab. They're not nationalists. But the thing is, they have Persianized them in the worst form possible.
Into demigods.
I.e., into demigods. Imam Muhammad Baqir said that all, the 313, You guys are, 313. You know how they are obsessed with the number 3 of 313. You know there's another Bataniya, just like some extremist Sufis. 786, Bismillah. 110 is Ya Ali Madad. If you didn't know, now you know. When they write 110, 110 stands for Ya Ali Madad. Yeah. So, yeah, no joke. Especially in
911. Is that Mahdi come out? What is it?
yeah. No, Ali, Ya Ali Madad.
No,
110.
911. Mahdi come out?
110 is like a dial code. Yeah, Zindiq Batani dial code. This number games. This is shaitan, all from shaitan.
It's
So
like
anyway,
almost.
yeah, exactly. This is Kabbalists and esoteric sects. They always play around with these names. Oh, look, there's 12 months in the Quran and there's 12 Imams. Yeah, طيب, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, the name of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq has 12 letters. Salawat. Abu Bakr is infallible Imam. You can check it at home. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq in Arabic has 12 letters. Anyway, they're obsessed with the number 330, right? And now some people might think, oh yeah, because it's a Badr, they have respect for the Sahaba of Badr and the number of the Shuhada of Badr. They don't care about Sahaba. They don't care about Sahaba, man. They have narrations where it speaks about that it has something to do with Sahaba, but the real reason they are obsessed with 313, and you always see their usernames 313 and what, is because of this. Listen, Imam Muhammad Baqir said that I repeat, all 313 companions of the time are the sons of Persians, Ajams. Kitab al-Ghayba by Ad-Nu'mani, chapter 20, page 448. And then remember, in other narrations, the Arabs can expect nothing but ish, but what? Nothing but slaughter. And not a single of them will be spared. Fear the Arabs, because there will be very bad news for them, which is that none of them will be amongst those who will come out of the Qa'im. Kitab al-Ghayba by Nu'mani, page 254. And then they have this narration, attributed also in Kitab al-Ghayba, that all the 313, which according to them are the top supporters of the Mahdi, are Persians. And what does this tell you? What does this tell you? This tells me, if you put all these narrations together, there's not a bias, we're not making things up. We're not creating our own puzzle. Everything I cited, every narration I cited, is not randomly picked from Bihar al-Anwar, which is weakened this narration that this excuse doesn't work. Every narration I picked is actually in their books that speak about the 12th one, that solidly speak about the 12th one, like Kitab al-Ghayba by At-Tusi and Nu'mani and so on and so forth. So books that introduce him. This is how they've introduced him. But most people do not know, because most people do not read, and most people fall for, cheap propaganda, like the propaganda they've started lately with the hashtag the promised savior. Now, you guys should talk now something. I finished almost all my book. Where's Ali's gone? Ali, we can't hear you.
I'm here, just unmuting my mic. While you were speaking, I was trying to put the narrations on screen, but you're limited to number of characters.
Yeah.
Like cut in half, but yeah. I've also posted a link to the article, and I will include it in the description.
Yeah, please make my article sticky, please. May Allah bless you. Allah.
Yeah, will do. Will do. Inshallah. So, guys, I think Hassan's established that.
Your voice is cutting off. You are in the Bermudas. You are in the Bermudas, bro, or the 12th one is trying to hijack you. Where are you?
Is it okay now?
No, it's breaking, bro.
Mort's gonna say he's better than me.
Yeah, let me just. I guess we can figure out. I can hear you now.
No,
yeah,
it cuts off. Yeah.
Wait, I think it's coming back now. Go ahead, try now.
Okay. So yeah, I think we've established that he is a monster in some senses. I'd like to conclude with what
No,
we're
no,
here
Akhi.
for? Is it
No,
fair
Akhi,
to?
you get cut off the whole time. There's no.
Okay, I think
Guys
they're
hear
both
me?
getting cut off.
You should.
Uh,
No.
I'll post.
Write it there, the question, and add, add me and Idris. But how the heck do I add anybody? I don't know how this thing works. I can't add anybody.
oh,
Never mind.
yeah, I think Bonio has to do it. I think we can't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I can't add nobody. Yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
think
that's
what Ali was saying is that we kind of established. I think you were able to establish, alhamdulillah, that the real reality and haqiqa, like what the Shia
he's a
Mahdi.
monster. He's a monster.
He's a monster. He's someone that it resembles the Dajjal. He resembles someone that is completely foreign to any Sunni that would understand from being even from the prophets. Even if this figure were true, no,
Aslan, by the way, Morty, forget. Let's always advise to you and the viewers. Think always about that. You don't even need to go that deep about all the him slaughtering Arabs. His hobby is slaughtering Arabs, and his hobby is to be friends with Persians, and so on and so forth. Don't forget about that. Aslan, the fact. Who is hidden? Who is hidden? Dajjal. Who is gonna perform things that look like miracles, and people will fall for him and worship him? The followers of Dajjal. What sect and what religion in the world, or let's be more specific, which sect in the world that attributes to Islam believes someone that is hidden? And whenever we say hidden, they come with a strawman argument. Oh, what do you mean Khidr and Dajjal is over 1,000 years and more? Nobody has an issue with your Mahdi being 5 million years old. That's not the problem, man. Yeah, Masakin. The problem is not his age. The problem is Aslan, the whole theory. The whole theory is batil. Of what is the theory? That every time needs an infallible guide. Of what use is it? Is a so-called infallible guide that is not guiding anybody since 1,200 years. So what did they end up? They end up with claiming that he's hidden since 1,200 years. Dajjal is hidden. And this is the description of you 12:1 in your books. So although he doesn't exist, but we believe if the Dajjal one day will come, then those who already believe in this monster will what? Confuse the Dajjal for the Mahdi. Doesn't that make sense?
Hassan, wait. Let's cut to the chase. Let me ask you straightforward: is the Shia Mahdi the Dajjal? Yes or no?
No, we can't. There's no absolute answer. No, we don't say this. No, nobody who is serious says that he's literally the Dajjal. However, what can be said? He resembles many of the evil characteristics of the Dajjal and of a monster and of Adolf Hitler and Mao Zedong and many other monsters of history. This is what can be said.
So he will be at least at the age of a Dajjal if this person comes back. He'll be someone who's
Yeah, of course.
among them.
And he
Maybe
was never born
not.
in the. He was never born in the first place. He doesn't even exist. Al-Askari had no son. However, what is in their imagination, based on their riwayat, based on their narrations, that is a pure monster, a sadistic barbarian, blood-spilling, bloodthirsty, anti-Arab bigot. That's what he is. That's what he is in the imagination. That's what he is
I'll
in the
tell you
imagination.
from what I read, from what I understood from what you said, as me being an Arab, I would never trust any Shia Mahdi ever.
Of course not. Well,
and jump off a bridge. Like I don't have nothing to do with this guy. Actually, if I saw him, I'd punch him in the face if I saw this guy.
Of
Right?
course.
I mean, the way it is. I mean, someone's trying to come kill me. The way where I come from, you trying to kill me, I'm getting you first.
Indeed.
So I mean, if anything,
are-
if any Persian comes to me with this stuff, they're looking for a whooping. I mean, that's the bottom
Of
line,
course.
because they're trying to tell me later on I'm gonna come get you. I'm not gonna wait around for some guy to come get
Of
me.
course. But I need to emphasize, this must be understood. This fairy tale, this individual was never born. Now you might ask some, then why do you go through his description? For God's sake. Someone might not be born and doesn't exist, which certainly he was never born. The 12th one was never born. He's a myth. However, in the minds of a people, a concept has been built based on these horrendous narrations. So if one day an actual monster will appear, who will follow him?
Right.
The people who had read this already. Understood?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, anyone who hates the Arabs, they'll love them. Pretty much. Anyone who hates them, they'll love them.
Exactly. Anybody who wants to slaughter the Arabs, see the Arabs being slaughtered. Everybody who wants to see the Persians being the top leaders and following the Mahdi, of course, he's going to follow this. And by the way, they have started this anyway. How many Arabs have they slaughtered the Wilayatul Faqih? How many Arabs have they slaughtered in the Khomeinis? You're Yemeni. How many Arabs have they slaughtered in Yemen in the name of
Wallahi,
Houthi and resistance?
before this conflict, Yemen never had a picture of Khomeini in Yemen ever, ever.
And
So from Sana'a,
same thing with Iraq. There was no difference between Sunni and Shia. In Baghdad, you had Sunni families marrying into Shia tribes, Shia families. This is
so there you
Baghdad.
go. Here, Abu Fatima is Iraqi and you're Yemeni. So from Sana'a, in the name of Houthi and resistance in Ansarullah, which is Ansar al-Shaitan, to Hizb al-Shaitan, to Bashar, the Muqawama resistance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, akhi, they have already started it. They have
To fighting Daesh and
They have slaughtered Sunnis in Iraq with militias and death squads, and Sunnis in Syria. And now you have a glimpse. Now you have an idea. Where does this haqid come from? Is it just Sahaba hatred? It's more than that. Sahaba hatred is what you know as a layman Sunni. Shias curse Sahaba. Now that's everybody knows this now.
But you know, I'll be honest. When I talk to these people, I don't even think they care about their own religion. They just care about hating the Arabs. They don't. Most of these people don't practice anything. They don't pray. They don't know Quran. They know nothing. They just know that they're Arabs and we have to be opposite of them. Whatever they do, we're going to be opposite of them. If they're going to be, and that's what their idea is. Every time I come across them, I met one person who doesn't even believe in any of this Shia nonsense. He just says, "Look, I'm Persian. Culturally, I have to be against you Arabs. So I'm gonna be Shia culturally." That's it. I don't get it. I think he froze.
well, I mean, we've had this conversation, myself and Hassan. Multiple West. It's like, oh, all of a sudden, you're Arab, or it's like I am, and they look at me and they think I'm Persian or might pass as Persian or Kurdish. It's like, oh, it's like, and even my father and some family members speak Farsi. It's their second language, and when they hear them, it's like, oh, but how can an Arab speak such good Farsi or such a civilized language? Yeah, it's.
I know the racism behind it, the bigotry, right?
Look down upon Arab. It's a racist.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I think you're cutting Abu Fatima. I think you're cutting. I think I lost Hassan and I don't know, Abu Nur, are you there? I think we got
I'm here, but I don't know if you guys will be able to hear me.
Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you now. I can hear Abu Nur. I can hear Ali, and I can hear you.
Sorry, Abu Nur, go ahead.
It's fine. As I expected, we're going to have internet issues. Basically, what's happening is we're all in different parts of the world. YouTube's having their own issues. Servers are overloaded because everyone's at home. Everyone's using the internet. It's as simple as that. I've got a very fast internet connection at home, but today it's just playing up. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we're close to wrapping up. Unless anyone has anything else they would like to add.
I mean, I think Hassan hit a home run, so I mean, I don't have anything to add. It's clear to me who the Shia Mahdi is.
Abu Mahdi, no relation to the Shia Mahdi though, but go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, alhamdulillah, there's no relationship between our Sunni, the personality that we believe in, versus the one that they actually are waiting for. So,
yes, very safe to say that.
Abu Mahdi, you're cutting out.
No, I said it's very safe to say that there's no connection between the two, and that's probably one of the cheapest shubuhat that the Shia always bring, especially towards people who are less experienced in Sunni Shia polemics. They say, "Oh, don't you believe in a Mahdi as well?" And then that's it. And then the Sunni is often dumbfounded. But they're chalk and cheese. The difference between the two is heaven and earth. They could not be more different. They're two completely different people, and at their base, one exists and the other doesn't. And that's just not even that's besides looking at the details.
I
Right.
actually wanted to touch point on one of the tweets from this Zindiq Hassan al-Qadri, and where he says the Sunni Mahdi, we know nothing about him. Someone actually confronted him about this and actually mentions the ahadith of Sahih al-Bukhari, Muslim, and a few other narrations. And then he goes and tries to spin it. He says, yes, but where did I ever mention that that was the only hadith or the only thing we know about? The way he worded his tweet is very decisive. And then he just because the if he were to get called out,
Yeah, you're breaking up there.
Yeah, I think you cut off, buddy.
He's gone.
Yeah, it might be time to call it a night, Ali.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we'll end on that. So I think, just to recap, we've established the Shi'i Mahdi and the Sunni Mahdi are not the same. We've spoken about who the Dajjal is according to Sunni narrations. There are some similarities to the Shi'i Mahdi. It wouldn't be correct to say a blanket statement that the Shi'i Mahdi is Dajjal. That would be unfair. However, it would be fair to say that, as I said before, the Shia are right. They are prepared to follow the Dajjal when he does come because of what they believe about the Mahdi. I'm sure this video will shock a lot of people. As Hassan was saying, people haven't been exposed to the nature of this Shi'i Mahdi and what he'll do. Of course, it's been hidden from you. You know, much like how what Jesus will do according to the Christians has been hidden from you. You know, we're taught the narrative that Jesus is all loving and he's going to return and just love everyone. That's not the case. He'll do a lot of killing. So it's the same thing. We've looked at a lot of racism towards Arabs from the side of the Shi'i Mahdi. Again, racism does seem to be a problem in Tashayyu'. We've looked at racism towards the Kurds. We've looked at racism towards the blacks. Do check out our video on Shia racist narrations, I think it's called. As you can see, guys, it's a religion that's it's a mess. It's simply a mess. It's violent. You can look at our video called, I think it's Hateful Narrations in Shiism, and you can see basically what's been allowed to happen, what they're permitted to do to Nasabis, but then you have to understand what they consider a Nasabi. So Hassan's trying to get back in. Let me get him. Hassan, you can have final say. Are you in, Hassan?
No, there's one more thing I want to show.
No.
Still breaking, buddy.
We can't hear you, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna remove him. Bu Mahdi, Jazakallah khair, Jazakallah khair, Bu Fatma, and Hassan. I'm removing you guys, and I'm leaving it with Mort. You can wrap up, bro.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to the live show. My first time here, but you guys were a pleasure to be with. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. We were able to talk about this. And make sure you guys subscribe and like and share this so that these brothers can get their recognition and the message that gets out. Bi'idhnillah. So make sure you guys tune in later on for more information. Stay tuned.
What's your Twitter handle?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Hold on.
At Mort.
At Mort.
TMM.
PMM?
T as in Tom, MM. Mort the Mad Mamluks.
Oh, that's too long. Anyway, I was going to type it out and put it on screen.
Yeah,
guys,
Mort TMM.
I want everyone to spam Mort's Twitter account and basically push him to join the Sunni defense. I want him to start presenting for us. I think he's a natural, and I'm sure you guys will agree.
Inshallah, we'll work on it. Inshallah, we'll work on it.
We'll try to get him from the Barakallah feet, guys. Okay, Thank you for tuning in, and assalamu alaikum.